I'm as full as a Pommy's complaints box.
Yeah, it was good though. Was it good food though? Did you enjoy it?
Very good. It was excellent.
Fantastic. All right. So we just recently did a video. We were discussing diff lockers and stuff like that, and then we went and had some lunch. We've just had lunch, and we're all happy. And we've got another really important topic for a few people to understand a bit better and a bit of information to share. There's a lot of videos on it already, so I'm going to try and direct people in the right places to get the information and briefly try and explain the cracked piston fund and the free engines or cheap engines, however it might work out to be. And Frank might have a few questions as well, because that's how it all arose. He's highly interested in getting involved in that, and I suppose for this one it is mainly for the people in Australia, but you know, it doesn't matter where you are in the world. It could be something that you need to look into wherever you are in your side of the planet. Could be something a group of you could get together and support each other. So years and years ago I went, okay, so it's not a massive problem, but every now and then, right, 1 in a 10,000, whatever it is, I don't know the odds, but you get a cracked piston. And as was said before, most of the time it's caused by things like chips and tunes, or people that just totally didn't understand the normal maintenance, and that is replacing the injectors, the injector seats leaking, the blocked oil pickups, things like that as well. So to have your best chance of avoiding it, everybody knows now all the right maintenance, injector replacement, new injectors not remanned, new pipes, all the correct procedures, and that's why you've got your injector kit, and you might be in the VIP group if you're in Australia. VIP group is our client group, but we've also got another group. It's called VIP Gold Class, which you can only join that. You've got to answer the 3 questions. You can only join that once you've made a contribution. Now I want to explain a little bit more about what it is for Frank, and also for anybody else that wants to listen, right? So it's a group of people that basically supporting each other. You want to get into it and make a contribution to help others, not to help yourself, because if you're just going to try and do it for yourself, then it probably won't work out for you, because that's just how life is. Now, Frank, first, have you got any questions about it in general? Back to basics, like what did you want to know about the cracked piston fund?
Well, I didn't. I needed to know actually how I can get involved. So
okay, cool. So how you can get involved. So for anyone that's in the VIP group on our Facebook group, that's clients, you can search the group Cracked Piston Fund, and you'll find videos, you'll find posts, you'll find lots of information on it. That's probably the first step. You could also search our YouTube channel. I think there might even be a playlist, or a couple of playlists. One's called Free Engines, to give everyone advice in general on ways you could possibly get your engine replaced if worst case scenario happened. Now, by doing the maintenance and the injectors, you reduces your chances down, but there's still a possibility it could happen for a number of reasons. Bad fuel, maybe there was the injectors got changed a little bit later, maybe you're just going to get really unlucky, I don't know, but it doesn't happen to many people, that's for sure. And we've got quite a few funds there, and we're investing in some engines as we speak. So to get involved, you probably want to get more information by checking those playlists, but I'm just going to give people the rundown. So if you're in Australia and you've got a 1KD, because there's certain qualifications. I mean, if you've got a remap or a chip or a tune, or you haven't changed your injectors and you're at 200,000 or 300,000 Ks, then it's not going to look favourable. It's like when you take out car, and this isn't insurance, but when you take out car insurance, they say, have you had any speeding fines in the last 3 or 5 years, right? They ask things like that. They say, have you, you know, those sorts of questions. Now, if you haven't done the maintenance, well, how much help do you think it would be fair for me to give you with everybody's money? And that's how it works, okay? So the more contributions you've made, the more favourable it is for you. That's one of the major factors that I look at when we decide how much help we can provide someone that's made a contribution. And of course, how many people have made a claim, how much money's left in the pool there. A few factors like that, obvious stuff. It really just makes sense. So just recently, the first one we've had in years, he had contributed $100. He'd done pretty good maintenance. At this stage, we don't know what the cause was. Maybe he's just got really unlucky. Maybe he's got big tyres. Maybe he's got a big roof rack. Maybe he travels at high speed and it's just created a lot of extra heat. Maybe the original injectors were in there a little bit too long. Maybe it's just all these contributors coming together. But it doesn't really matter because he's put in $100. Now, it's not a lot of money, but at the point in time with the balance that we had there, I decided when everything's taken into account, that he's going to get a free engine. He needs to pay for the gaskets, the coolants, the oil, the labour, that sort of thing, but he's getting a free engine, okay? Now, the balance, of course, goes down. We've used an engine now. That thins out the fund, so that means the next time, someone that's only put in $100, they're probably going to get about half an engine, okay? But then if people were to make more contributions, there's more money there. People can even end up getting covered things like labour or part of the labour, that sort of thing. Now, one of the important things is you need to have your RAC top total care, top level of cover, ultimate premium, whatever you want to call it, depending what state you're in, to be able to get towed to a specialist. Now, if this happens to someone, it's usually going to happen when they're out on a trip somewhere, out somewhere remote, out back Australia, and there's going to need to be some big towing anyway. So you certainly want to have this in place either way. Now, does that sort of answer some of your... I just keep talking, mate. I just get me going. I'll talk for half an hour.
Yeah, no, it does. I was thinking like someone like myself who hasn't contributed anything so far. Like, I mean, am I better off sort of putting in $500 or something if I can, kind of thing? I mean,
well, that's a good number.
Engine sort of thing.
That's a good number. This is what I'd say to anyone, right? Now, if you're thinking about yourself, it might not be the best investment, right? But if you're thinking about other people, it's always going to be a good investment because it's going to help someone, absolutely. Now, the guarantee that I can pretty much give is it's not going to be a bad investment if it happens to you, because if it happens to you, if you were to put in $500, then if you were to crack a piston, I guarantee you're going to get assistance to a greater value of that. Now, let's just make an example here. So we've got 179 members in the gold class. We haven't done a video or talked about it much lately, you know. Sort of, I don't want to push too many people into it, you know, because there's no guarantee. I'm not an insurance company. It's the money's there. And if the money's there and you crack a piston and you tick the boxes, then you're going to get some assistance. But if those 179, 180 people all put in $500 each in total, whether it's a weekly payment of $5 a week, whether it's $20 a month, whether it's whatever it is, but if in total you're going to be looking that we've got, that's about $90,000. That's over 10 engines that we own. We don't even need 10 engines, so I wouldn't buy 10 engines, right? My aim is to keep at least about 2 Prado engines in stock, 1 Hilux, because that's the averages, and I'd expect to not even use those in a year. So that means if everybody's at about the $300 mark, that's enough. Now, if you've put in 500, you're, depending on the balance and all the other factors, you're more likely to get assistance at a higher value. You know, if people put in $300 each, Frank's got the calculator. He's doing some calculations here actually. So there you go. So if they put in $300 each, 180 people, is it? $53,700. I mean, that's enough for almost 5 engines, right? So now it depends what price we put on the engine. The engine retails for $11,000, but we get them cheaper. So at the moment, the figure we're using, including transport, etc., is $8,800, including GST. So anyway, something to think about. You've got to understand there's no guarantee. It's a community of like-minded people that are basically contributing money, kiss it goodbye. It's probably, look, it is definitely helping other people because we've already partially helped a few people with engines when there was a lower balance, whether it was $3,000 here, $4,000 there, $2,000 here, $7,000 there, whatever. I've even helped people myself with money out of my own pocket. So anyway, wanted to keep this video short if we could. What else have you got, mate? Any other questions? Okay, so the banking details. So if you want to get involved in this and you're in the VIP group, I'm just going to pull over here just for a sec so that I can concentrate on the rest of the information I'm going to provide. So if you're in the VIP group and you search Crack Piston Fund, or if you were to post, hey, does anyone know the bank details for the Crack Piston Fund? It's a whole separate bank account. It earns a minimal interest rate. Of course, whatever interest it earns, I've got to pay whatever, so just don't count any interest. That's why I've set it up like that. I could probably put it in an interest account, then it's going to earn interest, but then I'm going to earn, it gets complicated. So what we're better off doing is spending most of the money, keeping engines in stock, because quite simply, engines aren't always available, okay? They're not always available from Toyota Motor Corporation Australia. They're not in stock, so we need to keep them in stock so they're ready to go if it happens to you, to get you out of trouble quickly. So the BSB and account details are found in Because most likely if you've done the right maintenance, you're going to be in the VIP group already. Now, if you're not in the VIP group and you just want to contribute to help other people, or you might buy a 1KD one day and you want to help in the meantime until you do, well, we don't want you to chuck in $500 because you haven't got one. But you can, if you want to contribute $100 or something like that. For the people in the fund, one of the best things everyone can do is set up some automatic payment. There's people that are paying around $4 or $5 a week or fortnight. I just want to put it out there that 180 people paying $1 a week, that's a coffee a month. That means it's one engine a year we can afford, an engine a year. So if you were to put, if 180 people paid $5 a week, one coffee a week, that's what they write on the post. I'm not making it up. This is what the members, this is what the people say. You know, that's 5 engines a year. There's 5 engines a year from putting in $5 a week. We don't need 5 engines. So if you're one of those people that just wants to help out, you can put in $20, $50, as little as you like, as much as you like. We don't really want, nobody should have to contribute over $500 per person. But those that do, they're the ones that are going to get looked after. So if you were to contribute $1,000 because you've just got plenty of dough and you want to help out other people, when it comes to your turn, if it does, then you're certainly going to be looked after. Again, all the factors need to be taken into account, because if we've just had 10 cracked pistons in a month, unlikely it's going to happen. But if it does, you got to understand if the funds are not there. But you know what? If I've seen that you've contributed that well, I'm going to contribute my own money to back you up. I've got your back. You're never going to lose your money if it happens to you. There's my guarantee. You will be paid, here you go, out of my pocket if it's not in the fund. The guarantee is if you crack a piston and you don't have a chip and you don't have a remap and you've done the correct maintenance, whatever you've contributed, I'll guarantee that, and I'll probably almost double it, right? So I'll guarantee that myself. There you go. So so it's not an insurance company, but I'll tell you what, that's a pretty good guarantee. It's
very good.
Can't go wrong. Anyway, so what are you going to do? What do you reckon? Put in 300 or 500?
Talk to the wife. Probably 5.
Yeah. Okay. There you go. See, good answer. But you know, no pressure. You're going to be doing the right maintenance, so it's all good. Nothing's going to happen. But if it does, if you do that, then what I'd probably even say is, I'd actually prefer you went 3 and set up that order. I really want to get everyone on that automatic payment. So, look, we don't need $3 a week's messy, because then you've got all these transactions. People want to be able to follow their transactions and go, you know, they don't want to 3. So this is what I do. So $3 a week's 3 engines a year. The more people we get in that group though, the more chance something's going to happen. So that means the more money we need there as well. But why don't we just, there's going to be updates on this in the group. Once you're in the gold class, you're laughing. That's why videos like this are gold, because they've got the information. You spend $1,000 a year or more insurance. What's $200? Even if you paid it every year on top, something you may be more likely to use than your insurance, I'd say. Anyway, maybe not. Probably less likely, really. Okay, so I'd rather people contribute. At the moment, the 180 people should really need to be at about the $300 mark. That means we've got 3 engines in stock paid for, okay? Means you're still up for labour, gaskets, parts and stuff like that, you know, the other bits and pieces, optional items. And then set up $15 a month, something like that. That's small money, is it 3 coffees a month? So that's less than $5 a week, about $15 a month, something like that. So everybody that's got the $4 or $5 a week, it's up to you what you do in the end, but let's have less transactions, right? So monthly payments probably better. So if you want to come up with $20 a month, 15, $20 a month, somewhere around there, because that means, what's that per year? That's about 20 a month. That's $240. If it's 20 a month, $240 a year. That's a lot of contributions. $240 a year. That's around about, it's not $5. That's about 3 or 4 engines a year, which we're not going to use. Okay, so people are saying, what's going to happen what are we going to do if the balance gets to $100,000? Okay, this is what we're going to do. We're going to have about 4 or 5 engines in stock only. We've got money in reserve for engines in case we need to pay for one somewhere else in Australia that let's say it's happened in Broome. We're going to get the car down to Perth. We're going to get Greg Adams Automotive Services onto the job. We're going to pay for the engine, get it to him. Depending on the balance, as I said, we can start paying for gaskets, coolants, oils, labour. Let's say we're not cracking pistons, so we don't need money for that. What are we going to do then? Well, every now and then people's turbos fail. So if we've got a spare 50 grand in the bank, turbo's 3 grand, give or take, depends if it's a Prado or a Hilux, right? So you know what we might do if there's 4 turbos a year, we might just go, you know what, let's cover turbos. So you chuck your money, no extra money, and we're covering turbos. So You just give me a problem, I've got a solution, people. So subscribe, turn the bell on if you like it. You know what to do. If you need to know the bank details, if you're not in the VIP group, you're not a client, you refuse to be on Facebook, which is just a platform. It's not, you know, you're not going, people think they're joining like some cult or something, you know? Like, you can just have a fake name and the picture of the side of your vehicle, call yourself Frank Hilux, or Johnny, that's right, Johnny, yeah, that's right. And just be nobody, and nobody even really needs to know who you are. It's like a big fake thing, and you just join our groups and you be cool and answer the questions and get in the VIP group and get all that info and get amongst all the people that are on the same page anyway. All the information's there. But look, text me, okay? If you need to find the mobile number, you'll find it in the videos. If you waited this long, 15 minutes, I've been yakking, I'll tell you. But see, this is what always happens. All right, guys, we got to go. Thanks for listening. Bada bing, bada boom. Catch you in the gold class. Send me a text message. Monday morning only from 7:30 a.m. Wrap it up before 10 a.m. if you want the bank details to contribute to the Crack Piston Fund. If you're already a client, get in that VIP group on Facebook. You'll find the details in there. Ask someone. I need to help people in bulk. That's why I'm doing the video. I can't explain this to 100 different people. I've got to put in a video. I've got to put it in posts. I don't really want to be texting people the bank details too much, but of course, if you're going to help out $100, $200 to help people, that's awesome. So I'll do it to help people. But if you can get in the VIP group, if you're awesome and you just want to join the VIP group, if you hang around our Facebook groups and you're a contributor and you're being seen to be doing the right thing, helping people out, you can just say, hey mate, any chance I can get in the VIP group? You can just write that on one of our Facebook groups. Don't text me about that. And I'll probably just say, bada bing, go join the group, you know? So all the right people, helping each other, community, we're going to get in the VIP group. All the details will be there. Everyone will be happy. Where's the problem? All right, I'm still talking. Can you believe it? Should I repeat something again? See you, people. Go.